This module explored how Arizona real estate licensees are expected to uphold integrity, fairness, and professionalism when working with both clients and customers. Each section built upon the core principle that a real estate professional's duty extends beyond loyalty to their client. It includes a broader responsibility to the public to ensure honesty, full disclosure, and competent representation under Arizona law. The first lesson, dealing fairly with customers, emphasized that even when a party is not a client, the licensee must act honestly and in good faith. Under Commissioner's Rule R4-28-1101, left parenthesis. A right parenthesis, this means avoiding deception, misrepresentation, or withholding material facts. Fair dealing requires transparency and respect, ensuring that every person involved in a transaction is treated with integrity. Next, the module examined conflict of interest, a situation that arises when a licensee's personal or financial interests could interfere with their duty to a client. Arizona law, particularly ARS Section 32-2-153A3 and R4-28-1101B, requires written disclosure of any self-interest before proceeding with a transaction. A licensee who owns, intends to purchase, or stands to benefit from a property must fully disclose this interest to all parties involved. Cases such as Baker v. Stewart Title and Trust demonstrate that failing to disclose self-interest can amount to fraud and lead to severe disciplinary action. The takeaway is simple. Transparency preserves trust, while concealment destroys it. The third lesson focused on the duty of reasonable skill and care, a cornerstone of fiduciary responsibility. Under R4-28-1101K, a licensee must direct clients to qualified professionals when issues arise beyond their expertise. For example, if a buyer questions the structural integrity of a home, the agent must recommend a licensed inspector rather than speculate. Cases like Lombardo v. Albu and Hill v. Jones reaffirm that an agent's duty is not to know everything, but to act with diligence, caution, and competence, referring clients to proper authorities when necessary. Finally, the module addressed disclosure obligations. What must be shared with other parties in a transaction? Under R4-28-1101B, licensees must disclose all known material facts that could affect the value, condition, or desirability of a property. The Hill v. Jones decision made it clear that silence about known defects, such as termite damage or flood risks, constitutes misrepresentation. Licensees must balance this duty with confidentiality, recognizing that not all information qualifies as material. For instance, ARS Section 32-2156 exempts disclosure of deaths, illnesses, or non-material personal history of occupants. Collectively, these sections reinforce the broader legal and ethical framework that governs Arizona real estate practice. Fair dealing, avoidance of conflicts, reasonable skill and care, and proper disclosure are not optional. They are statutory obligations that define the professionalism and trustworthiness of every Arizona licensee. Key takeaways for retention. Fair dealing applies to all parties, not just clients. Licensees must act honestly and transparently in every transaction. Conflict of interest requires full written disclosure of any personal or financial gain that could affect representation. Reasonable skill and care involve recognizing one's professional limits and referring clients to qualified experts when necessary. Disclosure of material facts is mandatory under R4-28-1101B, while certain non-material information is exempt under ARS Section 32-2156. Retention. Tip: when in doubt, remember the 3 Ds of professional conduct in Arizona real estate. Disclose, document, and direct. Always disclose material facts, document communications and referrals, and direct clients to reliable resources. This approach ensures compliance, protects clients, and maintains public confidence in your professional integrity.